Leader Fan Radio Network.
What do you mean?
And KFAN. That's KFAN.com. 2 minutes and 21 seconds past 3 o'clock Central Daylight Time. It is a Friday edition of the Football Beast on an extremely cloudy, extremely wet Friday afternoon here in the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul. Guardsy produces the program. My name's Dan Barreiro, former St. Rich newspaper of the Twin Cities back in the day. Man, it's been a long, long time ago. A lot of the kids have no idea that I ever put a pen to paper. Well, I probably didn't technically put a pen to paper.
Yeah, did you ever do that?
No, it was more keyboards. It was more...
Typewriters.
Typewriters, if you want to go back far enough. Yeah. The old Radio Shack flip top. Very reliable device on the road. As long as you had an endless supply of AA batteries, you didn't even need power.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. You just had to have AA's. And you went through them pretty fast. You know what I'm saying? Back in the... And there, once upon a time, you had to send stories on what were called couplers.
Oh, yeah.
You connected to a phone, and you got the ears for the each part of the phone, the receiver, and what's the other part of the phone, the ear part.
Like the headset?
I guess that's what it would be.
Yeah.
And then eventually things got a little bit more sophisticated than that. And now they're so sophisticated that if, for example, the what's the name of if the Minnesota Vixen win the Super Bowl of women's professional football and the game ends at 4 o'clock, that's still too late to get it in the Star Tribune newspaper.
That's true.
It's one of the great stories of all time. That's how technology has advanced for the better. I mean, they can get it online, but they can't get it in the newspaper. 4 o'clock it ended on Saturday. Too late. That's a story for another day. Maybe we'll talk to about Lavelle E. Neal III, who is still an ink-stained wretch. Man, it's going to be a controversial show today. I already feel it. It's in my bones. It's a lot of times the Friday shows you like to think a little bit more reflective, a little bit more loosey-goosey. I think it's going to be combustible today. It's just a hunch that I have that it might actually go that way. Guest lineup includes, I mentioned Lavelle, and we're flipping times today. 5:30 regular Lavelle is at 4:30. And 4:30 regular Ben Gessling is at 5:30. Is that correct?
That's the info.
And that accommodates Gessling's schedule, Vikings practice. Now, when it rains like this, what do? We go indoors for all of it?
Usually, yeah.
Is that the way it works? We got
so.
The best facility in football.
Of course, it's the Taj Mahal.
There's no question about that.
Championship standard.
Do we almost prefer being indoors? Can the head coach get more done in the more controlled indoor environment?
Honestly, I think I've been in that building one time. So I don't know how many fields they have, if they have, because they have like 4 beautiful fields outside.
I thought it was 5.
It might be.
Yeah.
I don't know.
PA says 5.
Is that what he says?
Yeah, and I don't know if he was exaggerating
so
that.
That's even more. The point is, when you go inside, I don't think they have 5. So are they able to spread out and get all the work done that they want to get done? I'm sure they have contingency plans.
Where is Kansas City Chiefs training camp?
No idea.
I'm looking at a backdrop of it. Or is that Kansas City? I can't tell. What strikes me again is it looks more like a training camp facility that's on a college campus. Are any of those left? Are there still some? Because the trend obviously is to do what the Vikings have done.
Yep.
And that is, we're not going to Mankato anymore. We have better control over it here. We want to just keep it close to the vest. How many teams still train kind of retro, kind of like the throwback days?
It's only a couple. You are looking live at Missouri Western State in St. Joseph, Missouri.
And is that where the Chiefs train?
That is where the Chiefs are at training camp, at least for now.
Well, funny. If it's good enough for the Chiefs, why isn't it? Or is that just, are they redoing their own facility?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like they always get away.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's somebody that trains at the Greenbrier, right? Is it the Giants? Do they go to the Greenbrier?
I honestly don't know.
In West Virginia?
I honestly don't. That you might be right. I've lost track.
Is that the Steelers?
Do the Bears still go to Platteville? Those days are over, aren't they? Or do they still go to Platteville?
I don't think they go to Platteville.
In any case, I digress. That's the guest lineup today. We may add, we may subtract. I hope we don't subtract. But there's a lot of ground to cover on today's show, as I said, and it might get a bit bumpy pretty much from start to finish. The Kyler Conundrum. Is that even the right word? I don't know, but it's alliterative. And for that reason, it always is going to be a little bit favored. I want to introduce the Kyler Conundrum because I think it is the right word in where I intend to go, with a soundbite from your guy, Mike Florio. He still is the Sunday night game insider, correct? Or one of them? Doesn't he do some news nuggets and things like that?
Pro Football Talk, sure.
Pro Football Talk. And he's still got a very successful site, right?
Big time.
Pro Football Talk. And
millions and millions every month.
This is a conversation with one of the Sims.
Chris.
Is it Chris Sims?
Yep.
And I don't know if Chris speaks in this. It might just be Florio. But it's about a minute and a half long. And in it, Florio gives proper credit to Alec Lewis, who covers the Vikings for the Athletic, of course, and joins us occasionally, joins PA all the time. Certainly, I think during the Beast, their own Friday Football Beast. And it's Kyler Murray related, a specific aspect of Kyler Murray, and it's bouncing off of an interesting comment that Lewis got as he put together, before camp started, sort of the proverbial, let's take a deep, nuanced look at who Kyler Murray might and might not be. Let's listen to Florio.
There was a quote published by Alec Lewis of The Athletic from one of Murray's coaches with the Cardinals. Unnamed.
Okay.
Unnamed coach.
Right.
When asked about the player, said, I think you're going to see the best version of Kyler Murray. And I'm effing pissed that I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm going to be jealous when he's in a good environment, his headspace is good, and he shows people who the F he is. That's from a Cardinals coach.
So there it is.
And we've seen this typically with the Jets, where a quarterback doesn't pan out in one location, and you get the fresh start. You get with a quarterback guru, quarterback whisperer. Hell, Sam Darnold is one of the examples.
Exactly.
Former Jet, top 3 pick.
Yep.
Roundabout path to Minnesota.
Yeah.
Career flourishes.
Totally.
So, and it was working in Arizona first 3 years.
It was.
It was only after they inserted that stupid-ass homework clause into his contract that everything went sideways in Arizona for Kyler Murray. Injuries were a factor as well, but that kind of vibe changed. Like, it felt like the organization and the player were moving on an upward trajectory.
It did.
And then here comes the report, which I thought was fake at first, a joke. Somebody thinks it's funny, like The Onion, like, hey, try again, comedy is hard. But it was real, and I think that drove a wedge that Murray could never get past. They made him look bad. When have we ever seen a team go out of their way to make the player look bad?
Yeah.
Inserting that clause into the contract made him look bad.
Right.
Okay, so my guess is Kyler Murray will, if he ever hears that soundbite, will love it, because it essentially absolves him of any responsibility of anything that went pear-shaped in Phoenix, in Arizona. It literally makes it seem like all this stuff happened to him, and the clause was put in for no good reason. Somebody just decided one day, hey, let's try to embarrass the QB. There was no history that indicated some built-in concern that might have existed within the halls of how hard Kyler Murray went on prep. And I'm not here to say as a strategy that it necessarily makes any sense, even if that's what the people running the Cardinals at the time felt. Their frustration, perhaps, about what they thought was a lack of preparation or doing the extra work that goes along with that position. So you could say, even if you have a right to do it, you're cutting your nose off to spite your face, knowing it's going to become that public. Are you better off continuing to work behind the scenes? But what's interesting, too, so there is, again, what that soundbite at its best underscores is the possibility that this could be even better than the Vikings might have projected. You can't rule that out. That is possible. Fresh start, needs a new contract, allegedly better system, and maybe even a coach who will take a very different, less confrontational approach. And yet, here's the conundrum part. The conundrum part is I can't help but wonder if there was some truth to it, even if as a strategy, what Arizona did was self-defeating, one could say. From the same Alec Lewis look at the Kyler Conundrum just dropped, I think, a couple of days ago. There were comments from Jordan. Now, the money quote that Florio read, an anonymous former Arizona Cardinals coach, but a juicy quote, right? Here's one on the record from Jordan Hogan, a former Cardinals and 49ers assistant. He is not an idiot, and neither is his inner circle. Being in the NFC West, he knows what this type of offense is about. He wants to live in the pocket. He wants to be a pocket passer. He doesn't want to run around because that's how you get hurt at that level, and he knows that. He goes, then there's a comment from Don Shumpert, a Cardinals assistant, between 2019 and 2021. And by the way, he ends this quote saying he thinks the dude is going to have a crazy year. But here's the conundrum part. I think the play caller will hold him to a high standard, and he needs a coach who is going to be on him, not let him get away with the little things. Now, that theme persists throughout this piece that I would still say is overall flattering about the opportunity and how this might work. But this part of it tells me that there's a nagging concern that he hasn't always been held to the standard, or it's been he hasn't paid attention in some cases to what the coach has said in that regard, and that he needs somebody, despite the fact he's already played 7 years, this will be his 8th, who is going to challenge him. Again, that doesn't mean it can't work, but it means he has to prove he is willing to accept that challenge and make the changes and the adjustments as those challenges are made. Because, I want to believe that KOC will be that guy, as does Don Shumpert. He says O'Connell is that type of guy in terms of not letting him get away with the little things. So we're back to the beginning, in a sense, in that it's probably too easy to blame everything that went wrong in Arizona on Kyler Murray. But I also think that if you keep getting comments like that, got to have a coach who's not going to let him get away with the little things. Got to be on him. Well, that to me says, and by the way, he was an assistant with that team. To me, doesn't that not say that's a bit of a problem? That's something that he has to work through. So that's, to me, part of the conundrum. You don't have to destroy him or dismiss him as a good possibility here. But I think, again, there's been too much of an effort almost to make it seem like he deserves none of the criticism that he has received. That it's all somebody else's fault that they put the stupid clause in there and they didn't have a really good interior offensive line and how many good, how unstable that team was. I'm here to say I think the key to this, if this is going to work big and be big, the key to this is going to be his willingness to, by his action here, accept responsibility that maybe that's something he didn't do particularly well in the past. And now you can argue with a guy who's got a good reputation as a quarterback guy, he's got less excuse, one could say, to walk away from being held to that standard.
He also has less cover if it doesn't go well because everybody that talks about football, especially nationally, and offensive football and quarterback play, what do they say? Kevin O'Connell's the greatest to ever do it. We just did the Orlovsky bit this week where let KOC be the star. Whatever you think of it, that's the perception that Kevin O'Connell is a great quarterback mind. So if Kyler doesn't play well, he's probably going to get the blame more than the head coach would, right?
Correct.
It's not going to be like when Drake May didn't play well because Belichick had a defensive guy, Patricia, as the offensive coordinator. He's going to have. He doesn't have as much cover if it doesn't go well. Kyler.
No, because he certainly also is. This is the kind of organization that even if it was bothered by his lack of preparation, is going to probably put in that kind of I think unprecedented clause regarding how hard he's going to work. A lot of good text coming in. Let's get to bonus bucks first.
The Fan and BigDeck.com would love to give you some bonus bucks. It's our national cash contest. First keyword of the final day this week is credit. Go to KFAN.com and enter the keyword credit.
Bumper to Bumper with Dan Barreiro.
Kyler Kerfuffle, that's true. I kind of like Conundrum a little bit better. That's just me. These came in back-to-back. 763 guy. Dan, nobody cares about your newspaper days.
Wow.
612 guy. Dan, I've been a fan of yours since you were an ink-stained wretch for the Strip. So much so that I cut out your column once and posted it on my closet door in my bedroom when I was growing up. I am a huge Larry Bird fan. You wrote a column about a game where the Celtics played the bad boy Pistons and Billy Lambier started a nasty fight with Bird. You referred to Lambier as Batman Lambier. Thought it was so funny I had to put it in my room. We'll never forget it. Sorry to disappoint you, 763 guy. Maybe nobody cares about you not caring about my newspaper days. You ever think of that? Just a possibility. Do you think CBS has ever made a mistake? That apparently is related to the fact that Tony Romo has been put on what's described as indefinite leave. Now, this is after he was cited for, was it a DWI in Wisconsin?
Milwaukee, I believe, yeah.
Was it after a golf tournament appearance?
I don't know that. I think he was visiting family.
Okay.
He's from Wisconsin.
Is the betting money that this is going to be permanent and that this is just a part of their process here, whatever their legal process is with his contract, that they want him to go away for good?
Well, here's two parts, because someone brought this up as well. Remember, Romo was the first guy to get like $8 billion a year.
Yeah,
remember that?
I do.
When analyst money just went crazy because he had that great first year with Jim Nantz. I think he must have been on a shorter contract or whatever, because he got a ton of money. And so there's a theory out there that CBS might be trying to get out of that contract, because I don't think he's been as great lately. At least that's been the perception, right?
Yeah. Here's what I do think happens. I just think, how long has he been doing it? It's almost becomes inevitable that people are going to turn on you, or they're going to go, well, it was kind of a cool approach for a while, but now I'm tired of it. Because I still think he's as good. I think he's still as good as anybody. Now, is he as good as he used to be? Probably not. Is he annoying at times? Who isn't in this business? I don't know. But that theory is possible, right? Unless there's an aspect to the story that he wasn't straight with them or he covered something up regarding the DWI, it would seem like I don't think it is worthy of termination. But, it's a Pitchfork Nation world in which we live, so I don't know. Cliff from Mankato, you never played the game. 651 guy. Chiefs are building a new facility. So apparently, if they're on campus this year, they're not going to be on campus forever. It's with the intention of doing what pretty much everybody else does.
Okay.
Which is to leave the romantic days behind of when teams regularly showed up at various college campuses, universities, sometimes small ones, sometimes massive ones, right? And it's a deal of that's where we're going to be for a period of weeks.
Steelers look like they're still in Latrobe.
I visited Latrobe.
I remember that.
Yeah, that was my first.
Was that the Terry Bradshaw?
Terry Bradshaw story. The first story I ever did for the Dallas Morning News.
Where you had to go back?
I had to go back because my sports editor was bitter that I didn't get enough information on Joe. It was a JoJo Starbuck that he'd been married to.
I think that's who
there was something going on there, and it was embarrassing because I don't think I even got anything out of that. But it was also a different time because I interviewed Terry Bradshaw in his dorm room. Again, something that's so far beyond the realm of possibility today.
Right.
With all the layers that exist. Very, very different world. Yes, Romo was playing in an amateur state open. My old hometown country club. He shot 35 over. Maybe that's why he was so wasted. That part I don't know. Romo also told police he was visiting grandparents, but they're both deceased.
Yeah, I've seen that as well.
Is that true, or is that just nonsense?
Well, he's saying I'm going to see grandma and grandpa, and the theory is he's talking about his parents because he has kids. Like, I think we're reaching a little bit on that one.
You might be right.
Yeah.
612 gal, not guy, for the Batman Lambeer story. There's a lot of columns I remember writing. I don't remember writing that one, but I'll take her 612 gal at her word, and there's the danger of always assuming it's a guy. I mean, it's easier if you just put your name in from the beginning. We can do that too. Romo grew stale fast. Nobody likes him anymore. Get him out of here.
Wow.
Huh. That seems rather, I don't know, excessive, don't you think? That's at least my view. Dan, do you ever watch highlights of Kyler Murray? When the team is down, he seems disinterested instead of trying to rally his team. McCarthy has that intangible built in to rally and challenge his team. I hope the Vikings stick with JJ. I'm tired of the Vikings quarterback merry-go-round. I get the sentiment. I think you do too, in a sense. And I think that's part of why you don't want to give up on him. But in the story, in the Alec Lewis deep dive, there was some stuff in there about how sometimes his mood, that he wouldn't always fight through stuff. There was a feeling that if he got discouraged, then perhaps the team got a little bit too discouraged as well. A lot of that might be over the top. It's hard. It's really hard to capture, I think, a quarterback's run at a place where the franchise has been largely unsuccessful, and how much of that should be on him and how much of that should be on the organization, and to a certain extent then him bringing down the organization. Very hard to say. I'll get to, there's a couple other good nuggets in the piece regarding that issue. We don't have any guests at 3:30, correct?
Correct.
That part's good. I had a couple more texts to get to here early. Bears used to go to Bourbonnais, Illinois, yes. I think, weren't the Bears more recently in Platteville, Wisconsin? Am I wrong?
Yeah, that sounds right.
I thought they were.
They would go up there.
Yeah, I don't know if they're still there. I'm not sure. I don't even know why I care, because the truth is the ship has sailed on this, the days of training camp lore. Because the way it's set up now, there is no such thing as training camp lore. In fact, it was, I think earlier this week, Dan Minnesota on this date got it to me, and I don't think, it was either the day I was off or I just forgot about it, the Keith Millard drive-through incident, which was that's the kind of incident, well, I guess technically it could happen. No, it couldn't happen. Wait, training camp set up now, right? Because he was trying to get back to his dorm room in time to make curfew.
Yep.
Curfew doesn't even exist anymore in training camp, does it? The way it's set up?
I mean, I think they're in hotels now.
Yeah.
I think they still do go away or get put up somewhere.
Right.
But I don't know if they have the same freedom of movement that they used to have when they would just run around Mankato.
I just think
that's why Corin Robinson was speeding. He was trying to get back for curfew.
That's true. That's
on an off day or whatever it was.
Whatever it was. It might have been an off day. Yeah, you're right, to get there in time that evening, right? How fast did he go, do you remember?
It was like 120 through St. Peter, which is not advised.
That's fast.
Yeah. I mean, I might be exaggerating, but not by much.
Is that faster than Adrian Peterson?
No, didn't he go like 120?
Yeah, he did too. Yeah.
On 62, also
What's
not
What's
advised.
the fastest LaMelo Ball has ever been cited at? Do we know?
I don't. Jordan Addison?
Speaking of LaMelo, we've got some sound that I think you might enjoy, because his dad is Lavar, correct?
Yes.
And Lavar is what's the best way to put it?
Spirited?
He's a polarizing figure in the sports world, because there are people who say he's so over the top on everything that he's not even worth listening to. But the soundbite we're going to play, it's about a 4 or 5 minute via an interview on Sirius XM. I think it was with Justin Termini and Eddie Johnson. I think is worth playing because we get, at least from, again, this is the dad's point of view. We understand he's not objective. A little bit of what the dad thinks LaMelo might bring to the table here. And it went back also to some coaching stuff. So we'll play a little bit of that when we come back. Keep the text line open. And several other controversies that we need to discuss, including an Indiana Fever controversy that does not involve Caitlin Clark. Because they're coming to town Sunday, right? It's a day game? Matinee
Sunday
game?
Noon, yeah.
Sunday noon to take on the hottest team in all of basketball and hockey and football and baseball, your Minnesota Lynx. So we'll cover the waterfront and get to, as I said, Lavelle in about an hour and Ben Gessling filing a live report from Vikings practice at 5:30. We're hitting training camp Monday. We expect to visit with the head coach. That's become a tradition. Usually our first day out there. Monday is our first day of training camp. All told, I think we're going to be out there, is it 4 or 5 times? I don't even know the exact number.
I don't either. I know it's twice next week, Monday and Friday.
Monday and Friday.
Yep.
Okay. In any case, we'll continue with plenty of football conversation. A lot of good texts continue to come in on that front and cover more ground with Ben Gessling this afternoon at 5:30. Lavelle coming up at 4:30. Twins, of course, add another relief pitcher. I guess that was announced yesterday, or was it this morning?
Late last night is when it broke, and then early this morning official.
New left-hander who probably goes to the top of the class, which might say something about the available lefties, but also seems to be a better addition than the previous one in terms of pedigree.
Adam Minter's brother, AJ.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Exactly right. And there'll be much more to get to with Laval, not that far off. So I heard, Garcia and I debated whether to even try to get LeVar Ball on the show directly. And I still think it's worthy of discussion because there's a bombastic nature in him that you almost say, is there any point to it? I'm not sure. I'm still not sure it would be dangerous thing to do once, because he's relevant. His kid is coming here to play basketball, right? So when he appeared on the Sirius XM NBA channel with the afternoon regulars, former NBA player Eddie Johnson, a hell of a scorer back in his day, and Justin Termini, who I think he might have been one of the original people, a very good tandem, I think. I enjoy them from time to time in the afternoon. And the beauty of it, of course, like everything, you can play stuff back later. They got LeVar on, and it was an extended interview, whereas it is playing, I think, is it about 5 minutes?
Yes.
In that range. We might fade it. We'll see how it goes. But I tried to isolate it to the section where largely, I think it was Eddie Johnson asking the dad about, what LaMelo might bring to the table, especially in Minnesota, especially as it pertains to working with Anthony Edwards, among others. But it goes from there in kind of a stream of consciousness, very LeVar Ball-like way as well. But try to stay with it. I think it might be worthy of discussion after.
How does he make Anthony Edwards better? How does he make Rudy Gobert better? What are we going to see?
What you're going to see is you're going to see the mentality of Edwards. It's going to connect with Melo because they're going to want to kill everybody. They already got the name of supposed to be the best backcourt ever, the best duo ever like this. Mm-hmm. So they're going to live up to that. Both of them being young and wanting to whoop up on people, shoot. And Melo's like a playmaker. Like I said, he's going to use Rudy Gobert. He know how to use a big guy. A lot of folks don't know how to throw them lobs and give them easy buckets. See, mm-hmm. Melo ain't trying to dunk on everybody. He's going to let Anthony Edwards do all that. Melo going to shoot them long threes and get everybody else involved and make the speed of the game faster. So it's a running game, and they're going to have fun winning together. And once you start racking up them victories, then you got to have championship on your mind.
We're talking here with LeVar Ball, the father of LaMelo, Lonzo, LiAngelo. And he's got a million different podcasts, Eddie. Ultimate Dad's Unplugged podcast, the LeVar Ball show podcast, the Big Baller podcast. But he's on our show right now, which is NBA Today, right here on Sirius XM NBA Radio. You said, LeVar, that you were trying to convince Charlotte that they needed to sign your boys alongside LaMelo, and that was the day before the trade took place. Have we been in anybody from Minnesota's ear, A-Rod, Tim Conley, trying to team up the boys there?
Well, I haven't talked to anybody personally, but I'll put it out there and say, if you want that championship, go get them other two. Because like I said, Lonzo bring that leadership, but you need Jello for that three-point shooting. That three-point shooting and scoring, that's why North Carolina, they had Jello over there and wasn't smart enough to ever put them two on the court at the same time. That's on the fact when they had them go to practice one time, they saw how deadly they were together and never put them back on the same team. So that's why I'm saying Jello is the key to everything. He all quiet and stuff, but he's the key. That's how Lonzo got to be so good, and that's how Melo got to be so good playing with Jello. Jello is that middle piece.
Yeah.
So if they don't get nobody, they need to get Jello.
What's Lonzo's status with his health and just what's next for him?
He's all right. He's all right. He can play anytime. He's good to go. But like I told him before, everybody, like I said, Lonzo is the guard. But that three-point shooting is needed, and nobody has given Jello that opportunity yet. But with this running team and let him run loose, he going to fill up that stat sheet, but he going to knock down them threes. The little guy they got that's hurt now, DiVincenzo, shoot.
Yeah.
Put big-ass Jello up in there and watch what happens.
Well, look, I expect you to do nothing else but obviously promote your boys, because I would do the same. I know what they're about. I would do the same doggone thing. But I know also that behind the scenes, the point that you have gotten them, you've done a lot of discipline and you've done a lot of motivation, right? And I know that. You don't even have to say it.
Right.
But I want you to tell LaMelo, though, he hasn't been to a place as cold as Minnesota. So I want you to let him know now. Seriously, he can't be wearing them summer ass clothes, okay? And he can't be driving a Lamborghini in the snow. All right?
Here's what you don't understand: Melo done lived in Lithuania. Lithuania colder than Minnesota. I'll tell you that. He lived in Cleveland, Ashtabula. That's over there by the water. Man, come on. Melo, he ain't no local fella. He been around now. It
ain't nothing like Minnesota. Hey, it is nothing like Minnesota. I am telling you, man. Hey. Cleveland is like Phoenix compared to Minnesota.
Oh, shoot. Okay. Well, hey, all he going to do is hoop and then go lay down. He got a bunch of dogs. So go play with the dogs.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're telling us you think they're the favorite to win the title, right? Minnesota.
Hey, let me tell you this. Basketball is a young man's game, and they're young. You just got to have the right mentality. And now I think with that coach over there, and he want to control the pace of the game, he's not going to do the little silly stuff. He's seasoned. So he's not going to do that little dumb stuff that won't allow Melo to flourish like that. He's already did it with Anthony Edwards. He let that boy loose, let him do his thing. They be stuck on this, Melo needs to he needs time on the court. Don't let's rest him to the third quarter. Let's do this. No, man, please. That boy Anthony last year got hurt, messed up his knee or whatever, and come back and play the next time because they heal like that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, but your coach got to believe in you like that, and he believes in them. So I think it should be a good mix.
So there you have it, a nice little taste of LeVar Ball, the father of the Ball kids. He thinks the Wolves need to sign 2 more balls to end up with 3 balls. I don't even think we have enough. And I think that would put us into the second apron, I'm pretty sure. If we had 3 balls, we would be in the
2 apron.
That's basically it.
3
correct?
balls, 2 aprons for sure.
So
big ass Jello.
How good is the big ass
State Fair
Jello stuff? Is pretty good. Now he did go on to say he was glad he did not like the way LaMelo was coached. And what's interesting in Charlotte, but what's interesting about that is there's some people credit the approach taken this time around as toughening. Speaking of holding players accountable, that there was more of that done with LaMelo, and that's part of the reason he had maybe certainly his best season from a team standpoint, right, for their success. So, it sounds like he believes that LaMelo is going to get the freedom he needs here. But it's a fine line on freedom, right? I mean, it's
sure.
In that it's not all that different, really, from the quarterback situation. You want to let your best players flourish and give them the freedom to do what they do best, and that means probably allow them to occasionally make some mistakes. But there are limits to how far you can go with that, right? I mentioned the Alec Lewis story on Kyler in The Athletic. Some speak disparagingly about Murray's introverted nature. Others prefer not to ding him. Some fixate on his emotional on-field demeanor. Others praise his reactions as expressions of passion tied to his want to win. Some question his work habits. Others swear by how much he cares. But some of that, again, speaks to some question about even on the field what his approach might be and what impact that had. It's the old, how much can a quarterback do to elevate a team that's not as good around him? I don't know. And in LaMelo's case, that's what he's here to do. He's here to further elevate, right? I mean, this team, it's not like this team has struggled the way the Arizona Cardinals have, but the idea here at its best is all boats get raised, certainly offensively, in a way we haven't seen before, because of the space that LaMelo brings and can I guess you add to this offense. Openings, easier shots, etc. And the good news early is it looks like the father's all in. So I don't know. Does he show up at a lot of games? Is he?
I don't remember.
I don't think he's got time because he does. He has like 12 podcasts. He does. 10 production companies.
And a couple kids. I mean,
that's true.
He's still popping around with Lonzo every once in a while, I'm sure.
Yeah. Where is Jello now?
I thought he was overseas.
Okay.
I thought he was just like doing music now.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah. I don't know. One ball is plenty for me at the moment.
Think so?
I can't juggle two or three. One is good.
Yeah, you might.
Let's start with one.
Yeah, and see how it goes.
Start with one.
Yeah.
And if things work out. I would have been fine with one Antetokounmpo. One, Giannis would be good. We don't need his brother.
No.
Like they had in Milwaukee.
And you don't need LeBron's kid, even if we would have gotten LeBron. Right? Or you'd have taken that if that's how you got
That's the one I would have taken, Bronny.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I liked about what Lavar said, and again, it's just words, but I liked him bringing up Rudy, but trying to unlock Rudy, because that's what this does at its best again, is he's a master he's a lob master. He is it hyperbole to say that LaMelo Ball will be the greatest passer in Minnesota Timberwolves history?
Oh, boy. Man. I mean,
I don't think it's outlandish.
We have to include Ricky. We have to include Ricky.
Ricky's in the mix.
He was a good passer.
Very good passer. Steph at his best but it didn't last very long.
Garnett in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's true.
Why would I say that? I know, that was too easy.
And by the way, this is on anniversary day.
I know. I think that's why he's top of mind.
19 years ago today.
Yeah, 2007,
right?
I remember where I was. I was in downtown Minneapolis listening to this show.
Man.
Before I started working on it.
I may be getting ahead of myself. I may be getting ahead of ourselves, but I'm nominating Snownami Summer Ass Clothes. That's pretty good. Yeah, Eddie Johnson down on Minnesota winners.
So tired.
Well, but where I agree with him is I think he was trying to, in a sense, say keep like everybody else is, keep the Lamborghinis off the ice.
Of course.
Because it's not going to end well if you decide to try to tool around in your Lamborghini on a bridge, on an icy bridge like Steph Marbury claimed he did and almost died.
Don't we have more, though, if you're Eddie? Like, don't we have more than Minneapolis is cold? Like, let's, you're on Sirius. You got a big show. Like, you don't have to play the lazy hits. How
cold does it get in Lithuania?
I don't know. Is that where Big Ass Jello is?
That's where that's where he said he played previously.
That's right.
Daddy Ball was wrong, as it is not quite as cold as Minnesota. The coldest temperatures recorded are minus 42.9 centigrade in Lithuania and minus 60 Fahrenheit. I think he means minus. Yeah, I think he's got those reversed in Minnesota. So there you go. That explains it, I think, or hopefully explains it. I think that qualifies for PST statement. Cleveland is like Phoenix, Arizona compared to Minnesota. Well, it does get cold here.
It does, but we all know that.
Yeah. We do?
Yes, everybody knows. And like he said, he's going to hoop and then go sleep. He's got a lot of dogs to take care of.
Where's the
Which
other?
he also has in common with Jordan Addison.
That's true. Yeah, I don't think you want them to hang out, do you?
Probably not. J.A., as KOC calls him, does go to a lot of Wolves games, though.
Well, all the inside reporting indicates that basically LaMelo is living at Anthony's crib right now.
They've spent a lot of time together, it sounds like, yeah.
I'm guessing there's room. I'm guessing like he's got his own wing.
Probably.
I don't even know. Did Anthony who bought Cat's house? Was it another athlete?
I don't know.
Because it did get sold, correct?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Ricky's not like anybody else. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, as a pure passer, he's already right there. I mean, that might be faint praise because you say, well, maybe we haven't really had enough at the position. But let's put it this way. If he can forget the rest of it, if he can make Rudy a consistent lob, what do you say, a savant, that in itself would make it a success offensively, right? Right
yes.
there.
And I think he will.
I think, do too.
I think he'll get Rudy the ball where he needs it, which unfortunately for Rudy and all Wolves fans is a lot of times right at the rim where all he has to do is dunk it. Most nights. Every once in a while, he'll have a good game where he catches stuff and can make a move, but the easiest thing for Rudy is the lob. And I do think LaMelo will I think he will help him big time there. I think
his
that's
hands
why they're
aren't
attracted
great.
to
So
it.
is the key that his hands are up higher? It's tougher to flub the lob if it's higher. Is that the issue where he's asked to catch the ball?
I do believe, yes. Generally, the higher you throw it to a big guy, the better it is for them. You don't want them to have to bend, reach, go get it too much laterally. Straight up. You can just dunk it.
Yeah.
That's the best for a lob threat.
They do make Lamborghini SUVs. That's what Jordan Addison was driving when he got busted speeding, trying to save his dog. But I don't think it was in the wintertime. I don't remember that. Is that true?
I don't remember the specific
Lamborghini
car.
SUV?
It definitely wasn't in the winter. I do think that's accurate.
Yeah, that's right. It was much earlier. There's no doubt. Let's just take Ball's brother, and we will take Hughes' brother. It's the Twin Cities for a reason. Not twins, close enough. Any puffs of smoke on that, on Hughes?
Haven't seen any.
On the extension?
It's Hughes week.
We all assume it's a matter of time, correct?
Do you think Russo's also in Michigan? Do you think he went?
I don't think I don't think you'd rule that out, no.
That seems like something he would do. Just head over to wherever they are in Michigan.
Like hide behind a potted plant at the local fern bar or something?
Or like find an Airbnb in the neighborhood. Just go for walks. See if he sees anything.
Yeah, I guess there's...
Russo's relentless. That's why he's Russo. I'm not even criticizing it. I'm actually disappointed if he didn't go to Michigan.
By the way, since we're on it, one other Wolves item, would LaMelo help unlock the offensive talent of Jonathan Kuminga? Because now that name is coming up again, and I can't tell whether it falls under the classification of wishful thinking or whether there's actually some indication that the Wolves are working that. Now, contractually, I think they're doomed. They would have to make, I think to make it work at the right price, I think they would almost have to renounce the aforementioned DiVincenzo, which they so far allegedly avowed they're not going to do, right? Or they're not going to move on him. They don't think it's fair to do that to him when he's hurt. We've heard things to that effect. I don't know. But Kuminga's still sitting there. Now, again, Kuminga is also polarizing because he's viewed as a guy who's got talent, but he's also viewed as a guy who doesn't always guard, who doesn't stay consistent with his work habits and with his approach. And I guess it goes back to your desperation. You say we're desperate enough, we can get somebody of his talent, we'll take a shot at it. But on the other hand, does it not make it even like more dangerous and more volatile that you're adding another piece who's got talent but who has to prove he's up to being in a serious situation and being a factor on a regular basis, right?
Right.
I don't know.
And like you say, there's the money aspect of it. Now, he's still sitting there, so obviously there's not a lot of suitors for him at the moment, which could bring his price down because the Wolves don't have a ton to offer unless they do make some type of move.
Yes.
It's trading Josh Green or
it would
whoever
have to
it
be,
is.
or it would have to be getting rid of maybe in a sign and trade. I think Shannon would have to go. Yeah. They got to have more money at their disposal. Right now, I think they're like 3.6 under the apron.
Right.
So that's not going to get it done on Kuminga. Even though, as some say, I think even Johnny has said, look, if he's smart, he finds a way to get here because it could unlock the rest of his career if it goes right, right? And then you end up with a bigger payday later, maybe not here, but somewhere else for sure. Dan, I think Lavar not only gave you a State Fair T-shirt idea with big ass Jello, but also this can open up your first State Fair dish, the big ass Jello. I picture a 4-pound Aurora green cube of Jello. Get Lil B on the horn. I'll hang up and listen. Something to think about, and not much time to think about it because of how close we're getting to the fair. Never seen Melo, have seen Olivia Miles play as Melo, as good a passer as Miles. Well, I'll put it this way. We've talked about this before. That's the home run is LaMelo in this new environment does for the Wolves what Miles is already in very short order, 2 months basically, done for the Minnesota Lynx. Now, it's apples and oranges. This is her first year. LaMelo has been, this was about his sixth?
He came
in the same year as Anthony,
yep,
right?
He was picked 3.
But that's what you are hoping for. Now, I don't think LaMelo started strong, but I don't think he obviously has had anywhere near the immediate impact that Miles has had in the WNBA, correct?
No.
Not even close.
She carried a team without its best player, Nafisa Collier, to the best record in the WNBA.
And not only that, didn't we lose 5 other players to either free agency or the expansion draft?
Bridget Carlton, Jessica Shepard. Yeah, we lost a lot of pieces.
Which is why she's a legitimate MVP candidate. Top of the hour break, the 4 o'clock hour will include a 4:30 visit with Lavelle. Ben Gessling from Vikings camp at 5:30.